stop. Stop for 1 second and just humor me and listen to the noise in your head. The commentary, the review, the constant running assessment of you by you. And answer this question honestly. Would you let a stranger talk to you like that? In your kitchen, at your house, at your job, in your face? You would throw them out, or at least I hope you would. You'd hang up the phone, you'd walk away. So riddle me this. Why do we rent out prime real estate in our mind to a voice that specializes in contempt? We call it being realistic, but I call it what it is. It's an abusive relationship with a thought pattern you learned when you were too young to know any better. This isn't about self-improvement. It's about intervening in a dynamic, and it starts by recognizing the lie that you've been sold, and that is that this voice is yours. It's not. It's a survival mechanism that forgot to quit, but today we're handing it its walking papers. Your inner voice isn't yours. It's a script written by situations that hurt you, and you've been performing it ever since. It sounds like, who do you think you are? And we all know that that's not a real question. That's a termination letter for the part of you that dared to want more. Or, see, I knew you'd mess up. That ain't an observation. That's a life sentence handed down the moment you decide to step out of line. Or, just don't. It's easier. That ain't advice. It's a sedative. And for years, probably even decades, you've heard this voice and thought, that's me. That's my conscience. It's me being smart. Shit, it took me 34 years to realize that that ain't my voice. That is the sound of a lesson that you learned once in a room you don't even remember. It's the echo of a teacher who shamed you, or a parent who worried for you, or a peer who laughed at you. A world that told you to be quiet, all playing in a loop in your own accent. And you mistake it for a thought because it comes in your own voice, but that thought isn't yours. The fear is, the recording is 100% borrowed. The most intimate form of betrayal isn't somebody lying to you, it's you lying to yourself in somebody else's words and then calling it wisdom. That's the pattern. You're not thinking, you're rehearsing. You're not living your life, you're re-echoing the expectations of a world that forgot your name 10 years ago. And the tragedy is you've gotten so good at it now that you don't even hear the difference. And that is what we're up against. So it's not trying to make you feel better, right? It's trying to make you feel smaller because small feels safe to a brain that's still scared of the past. So if this voice isn't us, what is it? And why is it so damn loud? I had to really think about that for a long time. And I think it comes down to this. Your brain's first, most important job is not to make you happy. It's to keep you alive. And to a brain that's still figuring things out and developing, a kid's brain, a teenager's brain, alive doesn't just mean physically safe. It means socially safe, belonging safe. So when you got hurt, really hurt once upon a time, maybe you were made fun of for trying, or you failed in front of everyone, or maybe you were just left out. And in that moment of pain, your brain did something absolutely brilliant and brutal and made a rule. Okay, we ain't never doing that again. And if you want to feel safe, you're going to do this instead. The rule was don't stand out. The rule was do not, under any circumstances, get your hopes up and make yourself small. That voice, that's the enforcer of the old child-size rule. Its entire purpose was to make sure that you never ever felt that kind of pain again. And its method is to scan every new situation for the old threat. And if it finds even a whiff of it, to shut it down and fast. It's not trying to ruin your life. It truly believes that it's saving your life by stopping you before you ever start. The problem isn't loyalty. The problem is the rule book that it's reading from. You wrote it in crayon during an emergency 20 years ago, and you're not in that emergency anymore. unfortunately, the enforcer does not know that. So it's not that something is broken. It's that a brilliant old survival strategy is running a life that it wasn't built for. So we're going to stop fighting the feeling and we're going to interrogate it. I mean, what's the absolute worst that can happen here, right? Make it spell out every pathetic detail. When you feel that I can't feeling, you got to get simple. I mean, real simple, and ask yourself, what's actually going to happen? Like the real concrete bad thing. Not I'll fail, because that's just the name of the movie. Get down to the scene. I'll send the text and they won't reply for hours and I'll be anxious. I'll speak up and my voice might crack and I'll feel embarrassed for a second. I'll try and it might not work and I'll be so disappointed. That's it. That's the whole monster. It's not a dragon. It's the feeling of anxiety, embarrassment, disappointment. And you've felt those before and you survived. You know the feeling. You know they pass. So the move is this. You feel the feeling coming and you call it by its name. Oh, hey, it's anxious while waiting for a text feeling. I know you. You suck, but you're not an emergency. And then you do the thing while letting the feeling be there while you do the thing. You don't wait for it to leave. You just let it be in the passenger seat complaining while you drive. And that's it. You don't defeat the fear. You just stop treating it like it's a stop sign. You treat it like it's bad weather. You put your coat on and you go outside. Because the goal isn't to be fearless. The goal is to realize that the feeling of fear is not a command. It's just a feeling. And you can feel it and move anyway. You want to know the truth? You really don't need to believe that you can do it. You just need to do it for 2 good minutes. That's the contract. No restrictions, no negotiations. Forget the monster, forget the feelings. There is only one question that matters right now, and that's, what is the first physical move? Not the project, the move. Opening the file, writing the headline, tying the shoe. Find it, name it, and then set a timer for 2 minutes. That is your only job for the next 120 seconds, is to make that move. You can feel terrified, you can feel stupid. Your only commitment is to not let your hand stop until you hear the beep. That's it. You're not building a habit here. You're breaking a veto. You're proving to your nervous system that the feeling doesn't get to override your hands. When the timer beeps, you're free. You can stop, but you probably won't, because the hardest part, which is starting, is already over. Do this once, today, not tomorrow, today. And that's the practice. It's not a lesson, it's a transaction. 2 minutes of action in exchange for the proof that you're back in control. The goal here isn't to feel confident. The goal is to stop caring how you feel. Your actions are in charge now, not your feelings. And when you do it, when you finish those 2 minutes, I want you to notice one thing. What happened to the voice? It might still be there, but it's quieter. It's lost its authority because you just changed the relationship. You didn't kill it. You just moved it from the French seat driver to the background noise. And that's where your power is. Not in silencing the voice, but changing its volume knob. If you're tired of letting that voice call the shots, let me know in the comments. Tell me what your 2 minutes is going to be today. And next week, we're going deeper. We're talking about what happens when you start and how to deal with the backlash. The doubt that comes roaring back when you actually start changing. Because starting is one thing. Continuing is where most people get lost. But we'll fix that. And even if you don't, take this with you. The 2-minute contract. Use it. It's yours. You have everything you need to start right now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.